Welcome to In Data We Trust, the podcast where data isn't just numbers, it's the heartbeat of global supply chains. I'm Priya Thinagar, and every week we dive deep into how data, AI, and analytics are shaping the way goods move, decisions are made, and businesses thrive. If you're passionate about where technology meets supply chains, you're in the right place. Get ready to unpack insights, hear real world stories, and meet the innovators transforming supply chains with the power of data. This is In Data We Trust. Let's get moving.
Hello, my name is Priya Thinagar and I will be your host today. Last time we talked about winning hearts, building trust, inspiring curiosity, and showing educators and parents that AI is here to help, but not harm. But winning hearts is only half the story. Today, let's talk about winning minds, giving people the confidence and skills to actually use AI in education. We are joined again by guest Neeta to share her story about how she has seen winning hearts and minds through AI in education. Welcome back, Neeta. Exactly. Winning minds is about moving from inspiration to practice. It's about equipping teachers, empowering students, and setting clear guardrails so AI becomes a trusted partner in learning, not just a buzzword. So well said, Neeta. Let's get practical. What does AI actually look like in a classroom today? Neeta, could you walk us through what you are seeing in the classroom and how are teachers and students reacting to how AI needs to be used in classrooms today? Sure, Priya. We're seeing some powerful use cases already. In reading, for instance, AI tools are tracking fluency and suggesting right books, helping struggling readers without embarrassing them. In history, one school ran a debate with AI playing Abe Lincoln. Students fact checked its arguments, which turned into a critical thinking exercise. In math, what I am seeing is adaptive AI systems that change difficulty in real time so students stay challenged but not overwhelmed. I'll give you an example. In Spain, one of the teachers that we were working with used AI to generate 20 variations of a word problem in different cultural contexts. Students saw math reflected in soccer, cooking, and traveling. Suddenly, math felt relevant. So, AI is the invisible helper. It's personalizing without making the student feel singled out, as you're saying, Neeta. That's very interesting to hear about how teachers are using it to take away a lot of the monotone work or the prep work that they have to do and really using AI to sort of augment what they would have done otherwise. Switching to agency and belonging for a student and looking at a student's perspective, we often hear about teachers, but what about students? How do you see them experiencing AI? Interesting question, Priya. Students light up when AI gives them control. Shy students can ask AI the basic questions without fear of judgment. We see that a lot with students coming from East Asian countries. They are used to listening to teachers, being very respectful, and sometimes, even though they may be confused, may not raise their hands to ask a question. But even these students can ask AI some basic questions and learn and interact with AI. Visual learners can get charts, auditory learners get explanation as voice notes, multilingual learners and students can translate material so their families can help. Because in a lot of places, we see that parents are not using English as their first language, or their native language is different from English. And so those parents feel burdened to teach their students about math or geography or history. And with the multilingual features in AI, now they can listen to what the student is learning, help them in their native language, and feel very empowered to help their students. We were working with a bilingual student. This student translated her science notes into Spanish so her parents could study with her. That turned homework from a solo struggle into a family conversation. That's AI creating belonging, not just better grades. This has been very powerful as we're seeing students and parents being very involved in the learning process. So, Nita, winning minds is also about winning confidence, students feeling like learning belongs to them, right? Absolutely, Priya. Of course, with a power comes responsibility. What are you seeing as the ethical side, whether it's bias, whether it's privacy, whether it's fairness? How is that being incorporated into learning in schools and colleges that you're associated with? Obviously, in a college setting or a school setting, ethics and bias and guardrails play a big part. We win minds by building trust through clear practices. The first thing is transparency. We should not treat AI as a black box. We should show students and teachers how it works. So, a workshop showing them the power of the tools, how and when to use it, and what you get out of these tools. The second thing is bias awareness. If AI favors one perspective, call it out and make it part of the lesson. The third is about privacy. Students' data must be safeguarded like any other sensitive record. So these are three things that you have to be very clear about to build trust with the students and the teachers. I'll tell you a story. In a global history class, an AI initially gave mostly European examples. The teacher then adjusted the prompts and sources so Asian histories and African histories were equally represented. Instead of ignoring the bias, the teacher used it to spark a discussion on whose voices get amplified in history. This is critically important in this day and age. We want to listen and hear all voices in history, not just one tone, one voice. So, examples like these, prompts like these, help teachers broaden their vision, their view of how they're teaching their students. So even AI flaws can become the teachable moments, and if it's handled right based on what you're saying, right, Nita? Absolutely, Priya. In this history class, like I was telling you, the teacher is adjusting the prompts. Similarly, if the teacher teaches a lesson and the student feels like I need to understand how my background, my culture, my ethnicity could react to a problem like this, they could also do the research with AI to help them understand these nuances in a better way. All of this sounds great, Nita. But teachers already juggle so much. How do we prepare them to actually use AI? Professional development is the key. And it can't just be tool first. It can't just be the technology. You click here, you type this, you read this, you talk to this way. It's this tool, it's this technology. It's need to be pedagogy first. Start with the problem. Grading overload, mixed level classrooms, parent communication. Those are some of the big areas that teachers spend a lot of time, and they could use a lot of help with these areas. Then show them how AI can solve that problem. Always keep the teacher's voice central. I was working with a teacher in Finland in a classroom, a district trained teacher, and we asked them, "What's one thing you dread every week?" One teacher said, "Grading essays." The trainer and I showed how AI could generate structured feedback comments. The teacher didn't need a tutorial. She needed a solution for her problem. Once she saw that, adoption was natural. It's easy to always think about a tool or a technology and shove it down people's throat and ask them for productivity. But really leaning in, checking in on the problem that is the worst for the teacher or the student and helping find a solution that works for it is always a powerful way to get them to connect. Wow. So it's really not about pushing the tool, it's about showing how any tool can fit into the teacher's world. Neeta, if you look 5 years ahead, what's your dream for AI in education? What would you like for education to do in the next 5 years? My dream is that AI becomes invisible. It becomes like electricity. We don't say AI education, we just say education. Teachers spend 80% of the time mentoring, inspiring, and coaching, not grading students. Every student has a personalized pathway that updates daily. Parents feel reassured because AI is transparent, safe, and aligned with human values. Just like multimedia learning in the 90s, which felt radical but became normal, AI will stop becoming a headline and simply be part of how greater teaching happens. So well said, Neeta. So it's teachers spending a lot of the time mentoring students, inspiring them, coaching them, making them better students is where they should be spending their time on. And if every student feels like education is personal to them, takes into account how they learn, what medium they'd like to use to learn, and the pace of learning, and parents have visibility into the learning tools, the ways that grading happens, the ways that students learn. I think, all of this includes a human touch in how we're bringing AI into education. Such a powerful story that you said, and a powerful way to slowly but surely bring AI into education. If you, as a listener, could fast forward 5 years, what role would you want AI to play in your or your children's education? Whether it's tutor, whether it's an assistant, whether it's a coach or something else, please engage with us in the comment section and share your views with us on how you think AI is going to substantially change the way we learn, our children learn, and the next generation learns. So to wrap up, winning minds is about competence, giving teachers, students, and parents the skills, the confidence, and the guardrails to actually use AI well. Neeta, would you want to share any closing comments with our audience today? If winning hearts is about trust, winning minds is about practice. When we combine the two, AI doesn't replace human learning, it frees it. It makes us be more intelligent. It gives us the space and the time to do the things that we love doing the most. It brings purpose to our learning and it makes us well rounded. Thank you, Priya, for having me on this podcast. I really enjoyed speaking to you about how AI could be instrumental in education. Thank you, Neeta, for the time. And viewers, thank you for listening in. Until we see you in another episode of In Data We Trust, goodbye.
You've been listening to In Data We Trust, the voice of a world where precision, speed, and insight define who wins. Every decision, every movement, every success starts with a hidden truth in the data. If you find something powerful today, subscribe, share, and join us as we decode the future of supply chains. Until next time, trust the data and keep innovating.